We're here at the Blackmagic booth. We're going to take a look at this little camera right here, and we're going to do that next. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. We're here with Kendall from Blackmagic Design. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Having fun at NAB and seeing all the new cameras and stuff like that. As you can see with my system, I used to have like the big cameras, and I went to smaller cameras and smaller cameras.
Okay.
And I got the little Hero here, and I got this the other main camera. But now we're gonna get some really cool small cameras from you guys that are going to give me some even better pictures, and that's what we're talking about here. Why don't you tell us about it?
Okay, so this is the Blackmagic Micro Cinema Camera.
Okay.
So we had the Pocket Cinema Camera, awesome camera.
Yeah.
A lot of people were trying to put it in small, intimate places, maybe on the dash of a car, and they couldn't quite tell if it was recording. They had to go and try to hit the button from behind and things like that. We really wanted to make an intimate camera that people could use remotely also.
Okay.
So we came up with this form factor here that you see.
Okay.
Now the nice thing about this camera, and I'll jump to it right away, is the expansion port. So what you can do with this, it's very hackable, so people can go in with their own wiring and they can change this up. But really what you can do is go to the radio controls, the wireless controls. So you can get this up in a quadcopter.
Oh, wow.
You can also put it, into different locations and do it wirelessly and do all the transmitting. So you can do controls through the link here. You can do controls on the focus, the iris, maybe the zoom, things like that. And then the other great thing about this camera is that you can hit the record button now right here on the front, and you get a red tally light. You know that that's going on when you're. So you can do all the micro 4/3 lenses on here.
Nice.
And of course, this is adaptable with ring adapters to other lens.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do that.
So you could get really cinematic on it.
You can, and actually, if you go to our website, you'll see they have PL on here. They have a number of different lenses they put on here. It's pretty crazy.
Okay.
And it also has 13 stops of dynamic range built into the camera. This camera can get up to 60 frames a second also.
Okay.
So
what I like is you have the mount on this side and you have a mount on this side, right?
That's right on the front and the back. You actually have you have 3 on the bottom,
So
one on the top.
You could horseshoe it, or you could actually hook it overhead, or put it onto. You said the drone or something like that.
The drone with the gimbal and the whole thing. Yeah,
Okay.
It's really meant to go anywhere that you need it remotely set up. It has HDMI on here. Again, the expansion port. You have an SD card slot here to record, and you can record the flavors of ProRes, but you can also record a Cinema DNG RAW file in here.
Okay.
Has the headphone jack too.
Okay.
The thing that I love about this though too is it has a battery pack on the back, and of course you can just power it if you want to through the connection there. One other thing we should mention while I'm over here is if you want to get into any of the settings here, the menu settings, or play it back, you see that there's no monitor on here.
Okay.
So one other option that we came up with is a Blackmagic Video Assist.
All right.
So it's a 1920 by 1080 high definition screen. It's all touch screen in here. It actually comes with an SD card slot here.
All right.
So you could pull the SD card out of there, put it in here, and you can play back on here.
Yeah.
But you can also record on here too.
Oh, okay.
So you can record HD on here. Comes with the power. You have your headphone jack here, but it also has batteries on the back. So if you're mobile, you can do that.
So I'd be able to put this camera onto my rig, and then turn around and then put that onto my rig as well, and then be able to see what it. And I can use this for other stuff, such as my GoPro or my other cameras, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it has the connections here for HDMI in and out. It also has SDI in and out.
Okay. All right. So a lot of people are now putting together their studios, whether they build a box for Wirecast, Paladin, or NewTek or something like that. They want to have small cameras because usually this is like a second room, 10 by 10 and stuff like that. So smaller the better. They can put it in a corner and go from there. Sure. So having that and then having these monitors close by to be able to see what the cameras are seeing are detrimental for these types of studios. So I see a lot of new media folks driving towards these, and this one goes up to 1080, right?
1080p, yeah, exactly. So
and you also have a 4K version, right?
We don't have we have a studio version. A live camera looks exactly like this in the same form factor, and it will go up to 4K.
Okay,
that's right.
That's 4K, 30 frames a second?
60 frames a second in that camera, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all live, so you don't get the SD card slot to record. But again, it's more for live sports or.
Yeah, and most of them are HDMI cabling into a box, something like that, and go from there. So.
Exactly.
What are we talking? Are these out just yet or no?
Not yet. They'll be out in July. They're going to go for $1,000, $995. I mean, the thing I like too is that they're so portable. You can hook them to a helmet. You know, whether you're out there snowboarding or you're
what's the weight on them?
10 ounces.
10 ounces.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you could definitely have that on a drone, and I'm assuming there's going to be a protective case of some sort, so if the drone falls from the
what? I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of third parties that not only make cases and things like that, but also just for the wiring and the expansion port that comes out of here.
And is there like an open API or something like that, so you can build up on it?
From what I understand, there is a web page on our website that's dedicated completely to all the wiring of this expansion port.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, getting the monitor for this camera, how much is that going to be?
That's $495.
Is that available now, or?
That'll be available in May.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay, and so the Micro Studio 4K, if they wanted to go for that instead, how much is that going to be?
That one's going to be $1295.
And is that available now or no?
That one will be in July also.
In July as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, blackmagicdesign.com for all the information.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, Kendall, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
There you go. Look at these cameras are getting smaller and smaller every single day, and I love it because it makes my job easier because I don't have to haul all this stuff around. I can put it in bags and take it on airplanes without having to checking it in on special bags and stuff like that. Lots of cool stuff, and we got a lot more stuff over at NAB. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. Check it out. Think Magazine, put in a geek, or youtube.com/Geekazine. Geek out, folks.